All right, Justin, talk to me about Oceanside.
Yeah, so Thursday morning, drove out here with my boy Kyle, Organic Ironman, our video crew for the weekend. Drove out here from Henderson to beautiful Carlsbad, where we're staying here at the Team Everyman Jack House. Nice ocean view, little hot tub, no complaints at all. We arrived Thursday and went straight to the ocean to practice some big water, open water swim starts into those waves.
It's so cool! Okay.
How was it?
Dude, epic.
Really?
Yeah. You just gotta hit the dolphin dive right, and if you hit it right, the wave will just suck you back out underneath. And go!
And then Friday morning, got up early, went over to the photo shoot with Win Republic, with Luke McKenzie, the founder and CEO of Win. Got a few shots on the bike and tested out their new collection, which is amazing. Best quality kit I've ever worn, so super stoked to be working with Win. And then just went out to the pro meeting at 1 o'clock, checked that out. The big news of the day, of course, was that the swim course had been changed from open water swim start to inside the harbor.
The black line is the new modified course with the arrows. The arrows are small. So you're gonna start in the water. You're gonna swim down to turn one.
So night before the race, nothing special. I always cook, so we just did a little family dinner with the team, pasta and athletic brewing, and hung out here.
Spaghetti, dude. This is breakfast champions. Well, dinner champions. Extra cheese.
Got to sleep nice and early, around 9, slept like a baby, and up at 4:15 a.m. this morning to get ready for the big race. A little coffee, cereal, 4 pieces of white bread with peanut butter, banana.
So what's Paul's dream day today?
Yeah, it was like when you get to a
Swim. Well, I mean, all relative to my group, obviously, but I'd like to swim 30 or under, even if it's by a hair. I'd like to bike better than last year, for sure. I'd like to be in 220s or lower and hold like 270 or above, power-wise.
Yeah.
And then runs like once it gets some energy.
Like high 120s. I'm excited to see if the kit just brings out some magic.
So what does this get?
My hips and my glutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, went out to transition, set everything up. Everything went pretty normal, and was excited for the day all the way up until the start. Felt really ready.
Hell of a day out there. It was really cool to see you and the rest of your teammates, man. That was really, really cool to see. You guys are savages. So kind of want to hear what your overall thoughts of the day was.
Yeah, man, it really was a hell of a day. I am neither, incredibly proud of my race nor disappointed. I raced with heart and I left it all out there on the first 40 miles of the bike, to be clear. But, I'm just super grateful to be out here with all of my 9 or 10 teammates that raced. It was an amazing day out there for everybody, and just having that support of Everyman Jack with everyone, all my boys, and one of my best friends, Matt Schaefer, racing together in the pro field for the first time.
Hello, my name is Matt Schaefer. I'm 25 years old. This is my second year racing as a professional triathlete. My day job is I'm a software engineer at a company called MathWorks. Graduated high school. I wasn't good enough to swim in college, but was still needed something to kind of drive my life. So I signed up for half Ironman. And that was a big deal for me at the time. Barely finished that race, but really liked it. So joined the college triathlon team at University of Michigan, which I went to school. And that's at the time of my life. We had 100 people on the team, made some of my closest friends, and just got really into the sport. Got inspired by some upperclassmen who were pretty good. Joined Team Everyman Jack my senior year of college. That was where I met Justin and a bunch of other guys who've now become some of my closest friends. So that was 2018. 2019 rolls around, I have a pretty good season. And then 2020 COVID hits. I was kind of on the fence of whether I was gonna quit the sport, move into just running at the time, because I just moved to a new city and I was working full time and things were busy. But then COVID hit and I was just I don't have anything to do. And so I just just was on Zwift like every single day, just hitting the bike hard. And then 2021 rolled around, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty good now. So I had a really good season 21, and then went pro in 22. And here we are now.
Nice. And what's your main goal for tomorrow?
So my main goal is just to execute a good race. So like, you can really only control so much, you know. If I swim front pack and then a bike front pack or around there.
Hey, 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Let's get it, baby.
And I run my best. Like, I could be 8th place. I could be fucking 25th place. And it doesn't, you know, I can't control that. I do really want to beat Justin. That's like, my only outcome goal is to beat Justin.
18 seconds from Justin, dude. Let's go.
And I think that'll be a fun little battle.
We were super close, and it was just super cool to see him have a great race. And yeah, you know, I learned a lot, and so I just feel one level wiser, so to speak, about both my own limits on the bike and just what it really truly takes to race against a field of this caliber and this depth on this kind of stage in the pro field. So I just feel like I learned a lot and really am fired up for whatever comes next.
All right, let's go over your swim. Crazy swim, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It was, you know, it was changed from the open water start to the harbor start. So we all lined up 50 guys across after a little warm up. The water was pretty chilly, but it didn't faze me. And yeah, the gun went off, you know, 100, 200 yard strokes. My plan originally was just go out as hard as I absolutely can and swim. So, you know, time trial the swim, start to finish, and try to make front pack. What happened was Ben Canute, Lior Berger, some of the other strong swimmers all started very, very far left. Myself, Matt McElroy, and Matt Schaefer, who I knew were both going to be front pack swimmers, all started all the way right, like 40 people across. And so these 2 points really started out about 200 yards in. I look up and sight and literally see a giant object jumping out of the water in front of me. And I kind of dismiss it. I'm like, no way, like a shark or like a dolphin or seal just jumped 10 feet in front of me in a mass start. Like, that's crazy. But then I look at the video footage later and it's a seal. So that freaked me out a little bit, but I kind of just blacked it out of my memory because I was in the middle of the takeout race at Threshold. So that was crazy. And then, yeah, we had to converge about 400 yards in. Matt put in a huge kick from like 300 yards to 500 yards that I couldn't quite hold. And I just kind of slotted into maybe 10th or 15th place in the middle of the front pack, or the back of the front pack, so to speak. There were so many guys that there weren't massive packs that formed, so it was really just strung out, start to finish. You could always kind of find some feet. And so about 600-700 yards in, I was able to back the effort off for the first time in a pro race to like a 7 out of 10, and just kind of settle into a comfortable swim speed. And so I ended up sort of mentally changing my plan on the fly and saying, hey, I'm going to back off a little bit so I have a lot of energy in T1 and getting on the bike, which I knew was going to be really important, because I don't think I could have bridged that gap up to the front guys. They were just on another level today, that front swim. Shout out to those guys. So, you know, went well, pretty uneventful besides a little seal, and got out of the water, I would say right where I wanted to be. I was 12th out of the water, 30 seconds back off the leader, and had a really smooth T1 for the first time. Actually got my shoes on, rubber banded them to the bike. I practiced, so that was nice to have no incidents, which usually is my kryptonite. I get dropped in T1, so ended up getting on the bike right with Jackson and started hammering from there.
Let's go, Justin! 130. Let's go. Woo!
Let's go, Mickey. 130 to the front, Mickey. Go, Mickey.
You're so fine. And I heard you increase your FTP on this bike ride today, right? So let's talk about your bike.
Yeah, I mean, damn, it was walking a line between taking a risk and being really stupid. You know, I'm gonna go with learning lesson, but in reality, yeah, like I overbiked and blew up, and that's the one sentence race summary for sure. And I got excited. I mean, shit, it's the pro race. I'm at Oceanside. I'm riding with the best guys. Like, I feel great. My legs are firing. I'm putting better power out than ever before. I'm riding and bridging up to the front. So I just let that adrenaline hit me and just went for it. And I have no regrets about that. I didn't know my limits. It's been a long off season. I thought, hell, maybe there's a 20% chance I can do this and run well off the bike and go for a top 10. And so when I realized I had put myself in a swim bike position to ride with the best guys, I just kept reinforcing that message, stopped looking at power, and just started hammering. And so, you know, the bike started with Jackson Laundry, who I knew was one of the best cyclists in the game. Rode with him, actually took turns with him for a while. And, you know, when I came by Jackson at like 380 watts and said, let's go, I might have been a little overly ambitious, right? Like that's probably stupid. I'm not at that level yet, but I didn't care, right? I was loving it, loving every second of it. And so that's racing. I mean, I was just so pumped to be out there. I love the bike. It feeds me energy. We get this little turnaround around mile 10, and I saw we were closing the gap to the leaders. And then Sam Long came by, I think, around that time, and sort of started destroying the group, which was me, Jackson, George Goodwin. I think we had bridged up to Lagerstrom at that point. But it was all big guys, big names. And I was like, all right, this is where I want to be. And so Sam and Jackson put the hammer down. I was in third position. Eric Lagerstrom was in fourth or fifth position behind me, and George Goodwin was there too. And those guys just started hammering. Sam was pushing, you know, probably 400 watts. Jackson in second position, probably, I don't know, I'm guessing here, but like 360, 370, and I was sitting at 350 for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And we ended up dropping Eric, dropping the other guy, I think. And before you know it, it was the start of the first climb, mile 29, right at that bottom of the hill. We had caught the leaders, and I found myself in the lead bike group of 9. And I was just like so pumped to be at the front of the race, and worked really, really hard to get there. Too hard, obviously. I ended up riding 340 watts for 80 minutes, and my ride in Oceanside last year was 300 watts. So in hindsight, it's like, yeah, that's like beyond your threshold, and of course you're gonna blow up when you do that. And then I lost half a bottle, so I ended up 40 grams of carbs short on the bike, which those small details matter when it comes to the run. I ended up only taking 75 grams of carbs instead of my planned 90 to 100. So that was a little bit of a bummer. There were a lot of blows thrown. I ended up doing 12 minutes over 410 watts, which is probably what cooked my legs. Just the amount of time above threshold in the pro race is just insane. Although your average power is not necessarily that impressive, because you have to sit up when you hit that 12-meter draft, or you have to, you know, drop and stop pedaling on the downhills at times. And so, you know, what happened was then the front group, Sam went to the front, I think, with Ben, and just started putting the hammer down. They dropped a group of 3 of us, which was me, Matt McElroy, and another guy, I'm actually not sure of his name. And the 3 of us rode all the way in from about mile 40 to mile 56. Pretty weak, honestly. I think all of us were absolutely smashed at that point. I only did 270 watts the entire last 15 miles. And so that's when I knew I was in a bit of trouble. I felt horrible at the end of the bike. I ended up riding 210 with 320 normalized power, but it was like so front loaded with so much time above threshold that I was absolutely cooked. And so that was the bike. Exciting. Showed that I can ride front pack. Showed that I can't ride front pack and run well. And so I've got a little bit of work to do to make that effort easier, but I'm proud that I went for it because I know what it takes. And had I just stuck to my own race plan and ridden at 300 watts, I would have had no chance for a top 10. I would have ridden 300 watts and run a 118 and had the same result as last year, probably, or a couple minutes faster, and I would have been like 17th. And so instead I took a gamble, ended up blowing up and ending up in 22nd overall. But had that gamble paid off, which, I could have been in a really good position. I was starting the run in 9th place, and right where I wanted to put myself in a race like this.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the run.
Let's talk about the run. I mean, it was rough. It was rough from the first step. I'd say mile 2, but yeah, I knew it was going to be ugly. Why not stop and stretch in T2? You know that's not good. So I was tight. My back hurt. My hip hurt. I was out. My legs were cramping already. And it's mile 2, run by Luke McKenzie, and I said, uh-oh, and immediately cramped my whole muscle here seized up and ended up stopped completely for about a minute, stretching it out, couldn't walk. And so I spent 3 minutes of my 1 hour and 26 minute 70.3 run stopped. So my moving time is 1:23. But I cramped probably 4 times in that 13-mile run. It was just gnarly. I mean, every step hurt, and my heart rate didn't get above 150, so I wasn't even close to threshold, but my legs were like dead sausages. I mean, I don't know. It was like they wouldn't turn over. They were so smashed from the bike. So I hadn't experienced that since 70.3 Nice, where I basically rode the entire 3,000-foot climb at Worlds as an amateur in 2019, way too hard above threshold, and then I ran like crap, and that's what happened today. So it was a mental battle. I knew pretty quickly I was not going to be in the top. I knew I wasn't even going to be in the top 20. I ended up in 22nd, which means 13 guys passed me. And a little bit of a bummer for sure, because I had some hope that I could run a 120 at least off the bike, off of that hard effort, and hang on for like a top 15, which I would have if I had run 120. But yeah, it just wasn't in the cards, and I went well past my limit today. Just got through it, man. I mean, my teammates being out there and all the support from fans and my family coming down to see me race, and my wife Lauren being out here. It was the first race she had seen, I think, since last year at Coeur d'Alene and Oceanside due to her grad school. She's been so busy. So it was just awesome, and Kyle being out here. So it was a great experience. I love this race. I have a fire lit to come back in top 10 next year. And I mean, I would not have gotten through it. The thought of DNFing never crossed my mind. I was prepared to walk 2 hours if I had to. I mean, that 126 was hard for me to pull out. Like, it was a battle. And it's certainly obviously not reflective of my run ability. It wasn't even close, but it was pro racing. And I remember just thinking, like, throughout the run, like, well, shit, I went for it. Like, no regrets about that. Like, this is the price you pay when you roll the dice and it doesn't work out. And I mean, Sam Long, he'll speak for himself, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to watching his post-race video, but like, he had a similar blow up. He ran 117, I think, and he normally could run 109, 110, and I run 126, and I normally could run like 118. So the even the best in the sport are taking risks to achieve their goals on race day, and I have no shame that I did the same. So I learned a lot. I got some things to work on going into 70.3 St. George North American Championship, which is going to be, I'm sure, a similarly stellar field as this race. And the fire is lit.
What's up?
I don't know what he's going to ask us.
My favorite part of the day was watching you two finish and embracing each other. So I want to know more of what your guys' thoughts of racing today together, because I think it's a pretty cool story.
I guess I go first. Dude, like, I love racing. It's like, this is my favorite thing in the world, is being at these things, and getting to share it with like really close friends is awesome. I love Justin, and I like, it's really cool to share a course with somebody I deeply respect, but also like really want to beat. We had a fun battle today. So
yeah, no, I mean, I echo all that. Like, Matt and I have known each other now for 5 years, and I mean, he was at my wedding last year, ripping bourbon shots, and looking forward to his next year. He's probably stayed at my house. I don't know, more days for weeks on end at times.
I should be paying rent.
But it was awesome. It was our first time racing together today, dude, since 2018 Santa Rosa.
19. Yes, the first time starting to race together.
Crazy.
We did St. George, but we were in different waves, so it's just different dynamics. But and I was thinking about that when I was out there on the run. It was just like,
we rode 225s or something that day. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a power meter back then, dude.
We've come
I
a
had
long
no
way.
idea what I was doing.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, that's for sure.
To both be racing pro in this field is awesome, obviously. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we didn't, I would say we had at least before the race, I was like 50-50 who's going to beat each other. So we knew it was going to be a battle. Mm-hmm. And Matt came out of the water, third pro out of the water today. Amazing. And so came by him on the bike, and then on the run, I was just like blowing up, and I was stoked to see him come by running well. And to finish 15th in this field is pretty awesome. So yeah, man, it was a great day. Looking forward to the post-race beers and hot tub tonight.
Oh yeah, I couldn't say it better myself.
24 hours before the race.
Work is done, baby. Legs are firing. Bike legs feel really good. Should have had more breakfast. I'm hungry. But yeah, beautiful day. Tomorrow we rip.